What's up, Ryan?
Hey Lou,
Yeah?
can you feel it?
Can I feel it?
Can you feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Can you feel it?
I can feel
If you
it.
look around, the whole
Oh,
tune's coming together now. Every healthy tune is hunger and strife for another tune. Now tell me, can you feel it?
Can you
feel
feel it?
it? Can you feel it?
I think this is the second time in like less than a month that we've opened with a song parody.
Yeah, we're running out of ideas for these openings.
Write your opening suggestions in the chat. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Looney Duels. This is a podcast where we, I don't know, we hit people with Daffy Duck sometimes shows up. We power scale the Looney Tunes to see who will win in the big epic Fortnite Battle Royale, PUBG, Fall Guys,
Stumble guys.
Stumble Guys Battle Royale that is happening. It's happening. It's going to be real.
It's some kind of multiverses even.
Yeah, one might say it's kind of an all-star brawl, maybe. We have watched some shorts technically yesterday. Some of them are a Roadrunner short, so they're bad. But other than that, I think we got some meat here. I think some real meat.
We got 3 meaty shorts and a Roadrunner short.
And that's more than could be said for a lot of things. So why don't we just go ahead and just dive right in, splash, because it's summertime, yeah, we're at the pool. We got a good time at the pool.
Okay. Keep that in.
I don't know why I said that.
Keep that in. Keep this all in.
I was like imagining we were like one of the bumper ads in like a Disney Channel like back in the 2000s, and we're like Looney Duels, so hot summer, let's get in.
Get your sunscreen on. We'll be right back.
Exactly.
There's like a footage, like it's like all the cartoon characters are in the pool. Oh no, the big fat cartoon guy did a big dive and got water all over the grumpy cartoon character. Stay tuned.
Tweet Zoo. Tweet Zoo is a short in which Sylvester is homeless again. He's going to the zoo. I guess he has enough money to buy himself a little ticket. And George, the zookeeper, is showing everybody around on a tour. And then we see the Tweetus Birdus there in his cage. I guess he's worthy enough to be at a zoo. I don't know. We've seen a few shorts where Tweety Bird's like very existence is like, wow, it's the Tweety Bird. Like, this is such a a rare bird to see.
I guess Tweety Bird is a species, and that's something they I guess they sometimes mention it in later Looney Tunes media in particular, is that Tweety's kind of like special.
Well, I mean, there is the whole movie King Tweety, which we will not be talking about ever.
Oh wait, hold on. Didn't we do an episode on that one?
We did not do an episode on King Tweety. We've mentioned multiple times that we have both seen the movie, but we will never do a discussion about
I can't
King
remember
Tweety.
half the shit we do on the show. You're gonna tell me Sunday we watched like Lunatics Unleashed, and I'm like, what? Really?
Well, I just want to say, I don't give a shit about what Sylvester and Tweety are up to this entire short. I have more pressing things to talk about. One of those being new contender in the ring. I don't even want to hear about this. Is his only short, and it's not. He doesn't technically count. George the zookeeper is just an absolute Chad. Wouldn't you agree? Yes or no?
No, actually. But could you explain why you seem to think this?
Okay, so George is on friendly terms with all of the animals in the zoo. He walks through it with such confidence, head held high, morning Terry to the tiger, not a care in the world. And in this short, frequently, Sylvester is getting attacked or mauled by a zoo animal. I think that if those zoo animals were out of their enclosure and they saw George just like walking around, they'd be like, "Sup, George?" They wouldn't bother him, and George could probably even command them like an army. Are you getting this? Like this is secret, like like sleeper hit character here. Like George the zookeeper, he has such an arsenal.
Hey,
he's one to be reckoned with.
Lou,
What?
can you step aside with me real quick?
Fine. Okay. What's up?
I think this George the Zoo bit character bit is floundering.
No. I mean,
it's not working. I'm not convinced.
No, but like, I just think that if like we give it a chance, like if people like maybe we could like like people draw like George Zookeeper fan art, like
all right.
so cool.
Keep going then.
Okay. But I was just think like I mean. Yeah, he's like Chuck Jones era Looney Tunes character. He's got the chin and stuff. He's like got the voice.
We haven't even talked about the fact Sylvester is homeless in this short. This is so
homeless. I did. I mentioned it at the beginning of the thing. I said he was homeless.
Am I losing my memory? As the Looney Tunes bashed my heads in too many times?
Maybe. But I did mention at the beginning. Yeah, Sylvester is just wandering around like he gets a ticket to the zoo. He's his own man.
This is a very cruel Tweety Bird short, I gotta say. He's really mean in this one. Like, he's, I think, more aware. This is definitely making me convinced he's aware. Like, there's been that debate, like, oh, how aware is Tweety Bird of the things that he does? And I think this one was the one that we go, okay, no, he definitely knows what he's doing. There's no way around it.
What made you think that?
Just, there's a point, I don't know, just he says a lot of shit in this short. Where, like, he's like, oh, don't come get me. Oh, come to get into mean crocodile pits. And I don't know, he's just constantly causing some shit. Although I will say, there's a point in this short for like a couple of minutes, Tweety Bird just leaves and it becomes a Sylvester torture short.
Yeah, he's getting mauled by a bear, and there's that weird lion character what did I write for him? He like has beef with Sylvester, and then they don't have beef with each other, and then they do, and they're fighting for a bit, and it's not much Sylvester versus Tweety here. It's Sylvester versus all these other animals, which I guess just means he's really truly is at the bottom of like the food chain here.
Yeah, I don't know. This short just takes a break for a bit and becomes a Sylvester and Lion short.
Are we just gonna talk about how like Sylvester just gives up?
Okay, yeah, the ending of this one is insane. I think this is the first time. There's a few firsts in this short, these episodes actually, in terms of endings. This is the first time I think I've seen a Looney Tune just give up.
It's like Sylvester just walked off set. He said, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. He says, I'm taking birds off my diet. And then he walks away, and of course, a bunch of birds start surrounding him. But he stays true to his word. He's just like, fine time to start a diet, I guess. And he just walks away. That's how the short ends. I don't even think he sees Tweety, like, for a final time. He just walks out of the zoo and decides to go away.
I think the weird thing we can infer from this is that Sylvester can just give up at any time. Like, he's not like the coyote who needs to eat the Roadrunner to live. Sylvester can just go to a pond and get some fish at any time he wants. But for some reason, he's so dedicated to this bird. But this one instance, though, he managed to give up.
I think that if Sylvester is in Tweety Bird's vicinity, that he is just driven to like only want him and go after him constantly. But when Sylvester is not around Tweety, like when Sylvester like leaves the environment, like he's able to kind of succeed in other ways. It's just when he sees Tweety, it's like a switch is turned on. But when he's dealing with like other things, he's more like competent, because we've seen Sylvester like once or twice in shorts with other characters and no Tweety Bird in sight, and Sylvester is a lot more with it. Like he's not a total loser in those shorts. In one of those, I think he even wins against like Elmer or something, and that's I think worth considering when he's being thrown onto the Fortnite Island. If Tweety Bird is like jumps off the Looney Tunes bus, in a completely different location from him. Like Sylvester has a good chance of like surviving and actually like maybe knocking some tunes out before he ever sees Tweety Bird.
So what you're saying is Sylvester the cat can absolutely eat and defeat Foghorn Leghorn.
Well, in the one short they were in it together, Foghorn did win. But I'll take a step back. I can't engage with Foghorn Leghorn discussion right now. There's way too much to talk about. So Sylvester lost. Big whoop. Who cares?
Yeah, he lost, but we have an interesting outcome of that loss, compared to usual.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't just like die.
He just walked away.
He just walked away, and that's, very brave. All right. Zooming board. Blah, blah, blah. It's Roadrunner and Wily Short. They're gonna fall off a cliff. It's gonna be really, really repetitive.
I just... The first two jokes in the short. The first two jokes are that he looks down and falls for a long time. Those are the first two jokes. There's two of them back to back.
I really liked that. Seep was with us when we watched this one in particular. And as we were watching it, they said in like a very solemn like tone of voice, was like, "Oh, these really aren't that good, are they?" And it made me feel so bad because it's like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, they're classics. When you watch like one or two of them intermittently, they're fine. They're classic. They're snappy. They're fun. Mm-hmm. But when you see as many of them as we have over and over again, they're just not that unique from each other, is how I'll put it.
No.
You've seen one, you've basically seen them all.
You need to watch two of these a year at the most.
Right, exactly. So it was just like, it made me laugh because it's like, no, I mean, you're kind of right, but you shouldn't say it.
Roadrunner and Coyote is like Santa. You eat once a year.
Yeah.
They should come once a year.
There's a moment in this short that I don't understand. Usually I can follow the logic of a lot of these things or just excuse it to cartoon logic, but Wile E. Coyote builds a brick wall in the middle of the road. And he sees the Roadrunner coming. He hides behind it. He hears the Roadrunner like screeching to a stop because obviously the Roadrunner doesn't want to hit the wall. When he hears him stop, Wiley peeks his head around the wall, and there's just nobody there. Roadrunner is nowhere to be seen. It's not a particularly wide wall, so it's not like Roadrunner just like went to the side or went to a different way. There was only one way he could have got. He just disappeared. And Wiley, for some reason, when he turns his head around the brick wall, he can see his butt and like legs on the other side of the wall, like as if somebody else was looking at him. It's very strange. And then he ends up like setting himself on fire or something. Yeah. I don't know. Where did he go? Where did the Roadrunner go?
This joke also goes on for like a minute too. Like they really hammed this one in. I don't know. I love weird cartoon gags. Like I'm not one of those people like, whoa, that's just possible. What the heck? But I don't know. This one was just weird to me. It was like paced weirdly. I didn't really quite get the setup. Maybe I'm stupid and I don't know. I don't know.
This isn't the first time this sort of thing has happened, though, where, like, they'll set up a gag and, like, you get it. It's punchy. It's fast. It's funny. And then they'll set up another gag and it takes so long to set up, like, when he was building that, like, bird sanctuary or something and he was using the telephone or whatever. And it's all this setup and then he does something and you're like, what? What? Why did he do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the takeaway in terms of combat from that scene is that I think the universe might hate Wile E. Coyote more than any other Looney Tune.
That has to be true. I mean, I think he has legit bad luck. Like, he is cursed with bad luck. Nothing can ever go right for him. I also think there's some weird, like desert magic happening, because I feel like things don't happen normally in the desert when you're in the desert. It's all mirages and nothing makes sense, and he's dying from exhaustion and starvation. So maybe a lot of the stuff we're seeing isn't even real. Maybe Roadrunner's not real.
Maybe if this stupid coyote idiot used his apparently fortune he has and amazing cell service to order a pizza, he wouldn't be here. But no, he has to eat that fucking bird.
I like how this short ends. Wiley almost gets like hit by a train, and then he's about to like fall off a cliff, and he's like catching his breath, and Roadrunner runs up behind him, and he's gonna like scare him off the cliff, but then he like thinks for a moment and he looks at he looks at us. He looks into my soul and he says, "I don't have the heart to." He holds up a little sign that says, "I don't have the heart to," and he lets him live, and that's how the short ends.
And that's a Roadrunner self-aware moment. So at this point, I think we can lock it in. I think Roadrunner's aware of what he's doing.
So he's not an oblivious bimbo? Aw.
No, I think Tweety still has a possibility to be oblivious. I think Roadrunner is way too... We've seen him drive a car and hit him before. I don't know. I think at this point, I think Roadrunner is actively malicious, and I don't think there's any way around it.
No. I mean, that's fair. I think that's true. I still do think there's a little bit of a playful energy to Roadrunner, like where he thinks they're playing a game almost.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a little dark for Roadrunner, I gotta say. What's our next one?
Oh boy, it's fucking Daffy and Porky, which will be good. We're gonna break from those other guys I don't care about anymore. That's not mean. Cut that out of the episode.
I'm not going to. This is dumb fun.
The first bit of information, this is something we've theorized before, but we get, like, I think full-on confirmation here. Daffy Duck can't fly anymore.
No, that is just, like, fact now. And we've said it before, we'll say it 1,000 times. He's hitchhiking to go south for the winter. He's not even going to flap his little wings, and it's because he can't. He's too medicated.
Yeah, Daffy Duck is a bizarre creature, possibly not even actually a duck.
Right.
And his unmedicated abilities were the only thing allowing him to fly. And now that he's medicated, he can't fly anymore.
So he decides to hitchhike, and of course, who's the sucker who, gets trapped into hitchhiking him? It's Porky Pig in a little hat. Which I enjoy. I enjoy seeing Porky Pig in a little hat.
One question I have about this is that, what does Daffy Duck own? There's a point in this short where he puts a bunch of stuff in Porky's, like, car. But, like, what does Daffy own? He's a duck in the wild, and he's not a particularly popular or rich duck. I just don't know what he owns. Guns? Are they all guns?
They're all guns.
You think so? You think Daffy... Have we seen Daffy Duck use a gun before?
Yes, we have. We definitely have. There's no way he's not used a gun before. In Rabbit season, he's used a gun, I swear. Or was that Bugs?
Wait.
Oh god, I don't know now. No, he's used a gun. He's used a gun.
He's used a gun? Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm sure he has.
Is he really, like, a gun lover, though? Like, is he really out there shooting constantly, you think?
No, probably not, but like you said, he has enemies everywhere. He needs protection.
I guess so. Do you think Daffy, like, lays awake at night in fear that something will happen to him?
I think so. I think he keeps a bedside pistol. At the very least.
And he just has multiple of them?
No, he's got one, and then the rest is, like, outfits. Funny outfits to put on. He's kind of like Roger from American Dad.
Okay.
Where, like, we've seen Daffy fit so many roles, like insurance salesman, talent scout. He's got to have a little outfit for all these personas, right?
Okay, you think Daffy Duck is one of those, like, he's like a little gay guy with, like, outfits? He's like, "Oh, Porky. Oh, I'm the accountant this episode." Yeah,
he's exactly that. And he's got to have all the suitcases to, carry it around.
Okay.
That's what he has. He has a little outfits, like a dress or two, just to spice it up a little bit and make the viewers question his sexuality and gender representation.
All right.
You don't think so?
So he owns outfits and guns. That's what he has.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, now how will this all help him in combat?
It doesn't.
He doesn't know how to use the guns, I think. I think he's gonna pull the gun out, point it at himself somehow, and then shoot a big cartoon hole in his chest and go, "Mother."
Porky, I have to note here, is not a fast, hot-headed driver.
Daffy has road rage.
Yeah, Daffy absolutely has road rage. Daffy gets into one of the cars that will populate the island, and he just drives it like crazy while Porky obeys all the speed limits and the rules of the road.
Right.
Unless he's Dark Porky, of course. Or is it Dark or Shadow Porky? Are they different?
It's Dark Porky, I'm pretty sure. That's what we call him. Okay,
can't even keep track of our own stupid...
Can we talk about real quick the scene where Daffy is, like, being really mean to this small little car, and then he stops the car, makes it crash, and then he gets out, says, "I'll handle this bluster," and he walks back to the car, and out comes just the biggest guy ever.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Like the best like a human character design in a Looney Tunes ever. He just steps out of the car and almost immediately Daffy goes into like submissive mode.
Yeah, Daffy gets on all fours and starts like whimpering like a dog and kissing the feet of this big guy. So first off, if you had any doubts, Daffy Duck Bottoms, there's your answer. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about this scene. I just need to make sure everyone knows it happened, to be frank here.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that if he can get out of the situation by like submitting himself to somebody, he would in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if Daffy Duck was being chased through the woods by mean old Elmer Fudd, he'd get down, bend over, butt to Elmer, and go, "Oh no, I'm so open and innocent. Oh, I don't know."
No, I get what you mean. That's exactly what would happen, though.
He'd wiggle around a bit. I don't know.
But Porky takes it.
Porky takes a lot of hits in this short. I think Porky should have the full rights to kill Daffy Duck, baby.
I think so too. And speaking of the way this short ends, just it was magnifique.
Okay, yeah. So we need to bring this up. Daffy has road rage. First of all, he has incredible road rage, and he wants to go so fast all the time. And he hates cops. He thinks cops are jokes. So that's a little badass of Daffy. But they get pulled over eventually. Porky gets taken to court, and he goes, "Oh, they're only fining me $2." And then Daffy, in all his fucking wisdom, goes in and gets them to raise the fine to $50. And Porky doesn't go full dark Porky. He doesn't go full dark Porky, but it comes out for a bit.
Yeah, he says he's gonna get him a present. Goes into a store, shoves it in the back of the trunk, and this has been a reoccurring gag where every time they open the trunk, it's just like a bunch of suitcases, which are all Daffy's, come like bursting out and like injure somebody. So Porky puts it in there, tells Daffy not to peek, and then gets in the car, and Daffy's like, "Well, you gotta do it." Opens the trunk and gets like flung backwards, and Porky just like fucking laughs and takes off.
Yeah, he takes off before Daffy even has a chance to catch up, and the short ends with Daffy Duck freezing in the snow, still trying to hitchhike, not being picked up because the human race hates him.
It's so sad.
This is not only a Porky win, it's an awesome Porky win. Actual badass Porky win.
He fucking got him, is the thing.
Yeah, it's over. He fucking owned him.
Like, no recovery. This is a Porky win. Like, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation fucking point. There's no recovery.
Porky speeds off before he has a chance, and Daffy freezes to death at the end. It's over.
If there was ever any doubt, like we make a lot of jokes about a pathetic Porky Pig, but at the end of the day, this is what he's capable of. He is capable of this cunning, and he is capable of a surefire victory.
Yeah, never fucking doubt the Porkinator ever again. Shadow Porky can rise to certain degrees at any moment. Do we want to talk about this last short, which is insane?
There is so much to unpack in this short, but I feel like it just all comes down to this.
Do we drop the big reveal immediately and then explain it from there?
No, I think we need to build. Hare Brush.
Okay.
It starts out in a beautiful glimmering city. Elmer Fudd is a millionaire. He's waiting. His board meeting is waiting for him. And he comes in dressed like a rabbit, just absolute loony guy here. Jumping around. They're like, okay, this is weird. We got to do something. They send him to like an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Where he's laying in bed eating carrots. And meanwhile, a doctor is looking over his file, trying to figure out this guy has some sort of like illness that makes him think he's a rabbit. Meanwhile, Elmer just happens to look out his windows, which are like barred, and sees Bugs Bunny walking around.
Yeah, okay, immediately off the bat, what's he doing here?
He's just chilling.
He's just walking around this insane asylum for some reason.
Elmer manages to get him to open the window for him and like come inside to share some carrots. They're like having a friendly little back and forth. Like Elmer is not saying much. He's acting like a feral rabbit. But Bugs is just like, hey, you know, what's up? Oh yeah, we're sharing a carrot or two. You know, they're having a good time. Then Elmer just fucking like leaves. He jumps out the window and leaves. So Bugs takes his place. The scientist guy, doctor guy, comes in. And he's like, oh, this is the worst case I've seen, you know, looking at Bugs and thinking he's Elmer. And so I thought this was going to be a short where Bugs is like going against this doctor guy.
Right,
and
me
like
too.
pulling pranks on him, you know, like just being a funny guy. But no. Oh God, no.
Yeah, they do exactly one gag that makes you think that's what's gonna happen. And then the short just kind of goes, no.
So the doctor guy, like, almost, like, he medicates Bugs. He, like, gives it... That's another thing I want to know. Every time Bugs is, like, handed a pill or something, or, like, something to drink, he just takes it. He doesn't question it. He just, like, inhales it.
Yeah.
And he's convinced now... Bugs is convinced now that he is Elmer Fudd, a millionaire, not Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, that's what happens. He thinks he's Elmer Fudd now, and the rest of the short... It's just a normal Bugs and Elmer short, but with their roles reversed, and like that's it.
He goes out into the wild to hunt after he's been released from the asylum. He's dressed in Elmer's like hunting gear, and he's hunting Elmer dressed as a rabbit. And Elmer is like winning, like he is like fucking Bugs up. He's tricking him. He's pulling all the same kind of like tricks that Bugs would do in his position.
Yeah.
Which is already, like, what does that mean in terms of, like, their capabilities? Is Elmer just as capable as pulling, like, these elaborate tricks as Bugs is, but only when he's, like, in the proper mindset?
Yeah, so there's a reveal at the end of this. I won't get there yet. That makes my whole view of Elmer Fudd change, but he apparently has the ability to do these things. He just hasn't unleashed his true power up until now.
And what made him start doing this too? Like, we don't get a setup as to like why he went crazy or why he thinks he's a rabbit. That's just how the short begins.
We have to get to the end, and I'll explain it all.
Oh, okay. So then a man from, I guess like an accountant or something, shows up, and he's like, I'm looking for Elmer Fudd. Bugs is, of course, like, I'm Elmer Fudd, you know, I'm a millionaire, and then apparently he owes, like, a lot in taxes, so he, like, grabs him and like, walks away, and then Elmer is there. Elmer won! Elmer won. Short. Elmer Fudd won against Bugs Bunny in a short.
He ends the short saying, I may be a screwy rabbit, but I'm not going to Alcatraz. So here's my stance. He was never crazy the whole time. He never thought he was actually a rabbit.
What?
This was a mega elaborate mega plan from him the whole time.
Oh, so you think he knew that he was gonna get caught for, like, tax fraud?
I think he knew. I think this was the plan. He knew he was gonna be caught for tax fraud, so he pretended to be crazy and like a little rabbit, because I think he knows Bugs Bunny in this universe.
Okay.
And he tricked Bugs into taking his spot so he could go take the role of a rabbit in a forest, and Bugs get arrested. This is a fucking 5-layered plan from him.
We've misjudged him this whole time.
Elmer Fudd has this dog in him the whole
He got
time.
that dog in him.
He got that dog in him the whole time.
What unlocked it? What made him realize? Has he just been tricking us this entire time, giving us a false sense of security?
I guess so.
I'm scared of him now.
But what does this mean, though, for, like, every other short he's been in? Was this a boiling point? Is this, like, near the end of, like, his career?
I don't know. It could... This is too much.
There's a lot to soak in here. Elmer Fudd won. Not only did he win, he won with swag. He tricked Bugs this whole time.
Yeah, Bugs took it like hook, line, and sinker. Didn't even like question whether Elmer was really like crazy or not, and took his place, got brainwashed, and then is getting hauled off to Alcatraz.
He got everything he wanted.
Elmer defeated him. End of story. I mean, that is going to really boost Elmer up. We don't have any, if at all, at least one or two wins against Bugs Bunny. And one of them is Elmer.
He did what Marvin didn't do this. Daffy didn't do this. Freaking Yosemite Sam didn't do this. It was Elmer dumbass Fudd.
You know, that just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover. That's what I'll say.
What does he know?
Anyway, you want to read comments?
I guess so. A lot of this thing. Okay. Here's a good one. This is a really good one. From Eve4918. How would Macintosh fare against a foe if they had a particularly bad fight and were on a temporary break from their relationship?
That would be hard. That would be hard.
I think they'd be doomed.
A lot of their combat relies on, like, combos together and a given pole, you know.
They've mastered the art of being a little fruity.
Yes, they have. And without their partner, I mean, I'm sure they would fare up against some of the weaker Looney Tunes, you know. But against some of the heavy hitters... Because haven't they won against... No, Bugs beat them that one time.
Yeah, Bugs beat them at the last second once.
Yeah, that was so stupid. Anyway, those heavy hitters, you know, it's already going to be hard enough if they don't have each other as like a support system to tag in and out, to relay messages back and forth. They have like a psychic link, you know. If they don't have that,
oh my god! Can you imagine if they were like in the middle of like a couples dispute, like before the Fortnite event?
That would be such a bad thing for them. They would need to be in like the most honeymoon phase ever to survive and like win.
Can you imagine though, if that's something someone planned, like Daffy, like they knew this time was coming, like the Fortnite event was coming up. So he dresses a waiter on like one of their dates and set up their breakup.
Oh God, he would do that though. He's crafty like that, and he would use one of his outfits from his suitcase.
yeah, one of his suitcase outfits.
This is a new power for him. He can pull out a disguise at any second, but like it has to be a fully fleshed character with a backstory.
Yeah, that's the new power you put upon Daffy Duck. From Gronkoi 2023. I'm not gonna read all of this. This is a whole song.
What's it to the tune of?
You don't even need to ask. It's Granny Nor. It's Let It Grow.
I'll read it. I'll read all of it. I'm gonna sing it.
This is the whole song.
Wow, it really is the whole song. I love this verse. My name's Mac. My name's Tosh, and our parents are kinda harsh, and that's not good. So we suppose we should let them fight.
You want to do it? Sing the whole song right now.
My name's Tweety, and I'm probably 3, and everybody tries to kill me. La 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 lee lee. I say let them fight. This is like a whole ass song. I need somebody to go to the comments of Looney Duels episode 3. Find this song, and I need to hear it. I need somebody to perform it. Please, I'm begging you. I would love it so much.
My name's Elmer. I'm one of you. I live here in Looney Tunes too. The things you say just might be true. It could be time to start hunting on you and maybe change my point of view. Yeah, I say let them live. Let them live, let them live. God have mercy on the tunes. Come on, who's with me, huh?
God.
Unfucking believable.
Thank you for this. This is the best comment ever.
Well, until next time.
Yeah, until next time. Thank you so much, everybody. That's all, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye.